Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for your continued support. Gideon Moi is making it official that he is not going to seek re-election in Baringo. Remember, Gideon Moi has been the Baringo Senator since 2013 when he won it with KANU, and still in 2017 he defended the seat through KANU. But then in the dynamics of 2022, we have seen a different Gideon Moi taking another trajectory and trying to play the national politics, more so concentrating after the formation of One Kenya Alliance. Now, this is coming amidst in the backdrop of a report of a power-sharing deal between the Azimio la Umoja team and One Kenya Alliance, where Gideon Moi was a very promising chief whip to make sure that the Azimio outfit was ultimately going to work, to make sure that One Kenya Alliance outfit was ultimately going to work with Azimio la Umoja. So what is the game plan and what is at stake for him? To make us better understand that, first I want you to take you to the politics of Gideon Moi. He is actually someone who grew from the shackles of power. Now, in 2002, when the senior Moi lost during the Rainbow Coalition, Gideon Moi won the Baringo Central parliamentary seat. And after winning that seat, he served from 2002 to 2013 to 2007. By that time, they were bit of in the opposition because NAC had won, even though many other KANU leaders were also absorbed in the cabinet. So in 2007, he lost the seat again and was in the cold between 2007 to 2013. But 2013, after the promulgation of the new constitution, that now led to the birth of the Senate and the other seats, Gideon Moi won that seat in 2017. Actually, he garnered 80% of the votes, even though by that time, they also had a working relationship with the Jubilee Party, where William Ruto was there. But the question that still lingers is this: Gideon Moi's interests and stakes are in Rift Valley, where now he might be needed most. But he's leaving that seat at a point where Deputy President William Ruto, who is his arch rival in Rift Valley, is making inroads in that region by a bid to cement the Rift Valley support in his 2022 presidential bid. So what do you think is informing Gideon Moi's decision not to go for that seat? Nick Salat, while talking, I think yesterday mentioned that they call Gideon Moi chairman, that chairman is now going to do national politics, now doing Premier League, and is not now going to seek the KANU parliamentary seat, even though as of the time this report was being published by The Nation, there was no candidate that had shown interest in seeking that position through KANU. And I think because first they felt like they knew that Gideon Moi is going for it. But then Gideon Moi is not going for it. So they made it public so that other interested people or other interested politicians would actually take up that opportunity to make sure that they seek the seat. So guys, I have my 5 points projections why I feel that Gideon Moi is making that choice. But before we go there, I want to request you that if you're watching this video, kindly subscribe and also click the notification bell. When we publish a video, you will always be notified. On the other side, we are also monitoring the progress at the UDA NDC that is going on. And I just seen the Deputy President has arrived there. I have not seen ANC, but I hope they are on the way. And of course, we shall do an analysis on it later on. But then back to what we're discussing. Why is Gideon Moi leaving why has he decided not to seek that seat? My number one objection here is that Gideon Moi wants to position himself for the national politics post 2022. He has been a chief whip in Oka, and it seems that during the State House meeting and their lengthy discussions with President Uhuru Kenyatta, Uhuru have actually shown them, or shown Gideon Moi, that Raila Odinga is highly likely to win the presidency. So with that in mind, Gideon Moi will be at liberty to relinquish seeking that seat so that he can come to play the national politics and actually concentrate more on Raila campaigns in the national grid. The mainstream politics, sometimes I think people tend to confuse that it can be mixed by the other local or the county politics. But I think mainstream politics needs more of that attention, because there are a lot of, he's now going to be one of the principals with Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka and President Uhuru Kenyatta and the others. So I feel Gideon Moi is simply leaving that. He can position himself. Whether Raila wins or doesn't, whether Raila wins or not, he will be a formidable in the national space. But going to battle it out there with the other leaders in Baringo, he's feeling like he's going to reduce himself to the deputy. He's going to reduce himself to the Baringo politics. Now, secondly, he might have been promised a lucrative deal under the Oka. Under the negotiations with the Oka Azimio. Now, one thing in one of the silent premises, or one of the silent confinements within that agreement is the rebirth of BBI. Now, rebirth of BBI would then merge to brooding of other positions coming up. But apart from that, there is the question of the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the Senate. These positions are all there. Now, I also want to feel that Gideon Moi have actually got the reassurance that the deal they're getting at Azimio Oka deal is a huge deal, and he will then rather seek that post in maybe a deputy president position or something, but not a deputy president rather. But of course, Oka Azimio have also had a deal, and someone was arguing, is there possibility that Gideon Moi could be picked by Raila as a running mate? Or we don't want to overthink, because that will be a dynasty affair, and you will be told that is the son of the first vice president, then the deputy is the son of the second president, and of course, just on that line, that is the only way that could make that deal not go through. But there is also a possibility that the deal in Oka is lucrative. Now, it is for the first time that Gideon Moi is going to not to seek re-election since 2002. And I want to feel that this decision is being made by the absence of Senior Moi. The death of the Senior Moi, because the fact that Moi was there was making, there is a lot of people that were loyal to Moi because of Moi as a person. Now, what the Gideon is saying, what the Gideon is doing, or rather what I want to feel with Gideon is this, that one of the conversations that come into public space when people see Gideon going for a public office, like maybe if he's seeking the presidency, people tend to reflect back to the father. So for him to package himself and try to sell his agenda, maybe in future, he must try to break from the yoke of the Senior Moi. Now, the one way to break from that yoke is make sure that you don't go for that seat. That could be a probability, because the absence of Senior Moi means that now he has to be a man of his own. And the best way for him to seek an elective office is you must be a man of yourself. If you look at Raila Odinga after the death of Jaramogi, actually when Jaramogi passed on, Jaramogi was preferring James Orengo to take the mantle. He did not even trust Raila Odinga. But Raila Odinga came from the blues and took over and made a name for himself. You know, the Constitution, the Kibaki Tosha, and all these things that Raila did as a person. So 20 years down the line, if you look at his politics from 2002 to 2022, you see a Raila that is self-made. Now, I think that is what Gideon Moi is also feeling, that the shocking reason why he needs to leave that seat is he wants to be self-made. When he presents himself to Kenyans in 2032 or 2027, he will be a Gideon that is not hanging in the coats of the late Senior Moi. Gideon Moi is actually leaving the Baringo politics, and I want to feel it could be because of the UDA infiltration in that area. One thing you have to agree with me is President Uhuru Kenyatta have intelligence on popularity of all these candidates all over the country. So the president might have told Gideon that you are likely to lose when you seek re-election in Baringo because of the presence of UDA there. Just because of that, because imagine if Gideon Moi would go to seek that seat and deputy president wins the presidency and Gideon Moi loses that Senate seat, that will be the end of him. So strategically, he rather not go for that seat. Because if he goes for that seat, whichever way, even if Raila wins this side and Ruto loses, but at the same time, Gideon Moi loses that seat, that will seem to be a rejection on him on ground. That is something that I think that is a trap that he wouldn't want to go and seek. Now, some of the candidates that have now that want it is Tenge's ward rep Silas Tochim, Baringo North MP William Cheptumo, National Health Insurance Senior Official Isaiah Kirukekmet, and Felix Chelaite. All these want to vie through UDA. But we are told Cheptumo and Mr. Tochim are the ones that are are the front runners. So KANU boss might have realized, and this is something within the intelligence, that the competition is stiff, the ground is shifting towards UDA, and if he seeks that seat through KANU, he is likely to lose, and that will signal his exit